G'day. So we're out here with Memphis here, and we're getting into ride 16 or 17. 17, I think it is. Something like that. 18 maybe. So we're just cruising through everything with him. He's going pretty good. Yesterday we had some drama, so we'll see what comes from today. He just started playing up a little bit, wanting to sort of run into fences and that sort of thing. Like I've had a few appies before, and I've had similar sort of stuff from them. So yeah, like he's just wanting to walk off there. So I'll just pick up a lateral flexion there and let him stand for a sec. Cinch him up a little bit here. We got to do a little bit of real quiet cattle work with him yesterday, which was really cool, and he did really well at that. But then, yeah, coming to the work in the session, and he was doing well to start off, and then, yeah, he started wanting to protest a bit about a few things, and just wanted to have his opinion, and I mean, that's pretty standard for young horses altogether, but appies in particular, I've found, have a real tendency to sort of push the boundaries. They're similar to Arabs in that way mentally, where they'll see if they can get away with things, and they'll look for all sorts of other options, even if they've done the right thing, a dozen times, 20 times, 100 times. They're still going to test you a little bit now and then, and it's just a matter of being confident and consistent in what you're asking for and where the release is, and things get better. I'll yield a hind quarter here. Good. You're getting really nice and soft with that hind quarter yield. Good. I'll yield a hind quarter into a forequarter yield. I'll swap legs when he rocks his weight back there. I'll swap legs to the right. There, and he steps his shoulder over. Nice. Good kid. I'll let him walk out of that. But I'll pick up the right rein and yield a hind quarter. Wait for his weight to rock back onto his hind end. There. And step the shoulder through. Nice. And we'll walk out of that. It's nice. Good. We'll do a little bit of bending at the walk just to get started. Just gets him soft. Turn on the thinking side of his brain. Good. I like how he's breaking at the pole as he comes around that corner, and breaking at the wither and dropping into the bridle. Getting nice and soft there, vertically and laterally. So we'll do a couple more bends at the walk, and then we'll do some bending at the trot. When I'm using this Bosal setup, I'm careful to give a horse a bit of guidance out to the side. I don't just pick up and pull back. Squeeze him forwards a little more. He's wanting to really get dead in that walk there. I'm going to sit to this trot till he comes back to a walk. I didn't want the trot. I just want a little bit more energy in his walk. Steady, mate. Ooh. 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 Good. And I'll release him. Now we'll give him pick up a bend to the left there. He's been a little bit silly here now. He's just sort of going ginger, so I'm going to push him into that trot now, and I'm going to ask for a bend at the trot. He's just sort of walking around those little circles there, like he doesn't know what I'm asking for, like he doesn't want to take a step. All right then, if you want to be silly, then I'll make you work. And I'll pick up a bend to the right. I'm just waiting for his head to drop down into the bridle here before I release him from this bend. Getting a bit high in his head. Yeah, that's nice there, good. So we'll release him there. And I'll pick that up again. Again, I'm just waiting for him to drop down into that bridle. That's a bit better there. I'll give him a release. He's wanting to sort of look outside the arena there. He's wanting to get distracted. He's looking for other things to go and see and do. He needs to understand the only thing he needs to worry about right now is right here. So when he tries to look outside the circle, I'm going to bump on him a little. Use a bit of inside leg. That's nicer there. Let him straighten out. Now just let him travel, jog around a bit. He's going to want to stop here. No, we don't stop here. I'm going to use that split rein. Put him under some pressure there. So he thinks he's going to get to just stop here. There's some other horses there. He just wants to hang out here. No, this isn't a nice spot to hang out. I'm going to put him under some pressure here. I'm going to do some small circles. I'm hustling him with my calves and my legs. Squeezing and bumping and squeezing and bumping. Now I'll give him a chance to leave. So this is where we work on destination addiction. And keep your attention on me and do what you're asked to do. He's going to do the same thing in the gate here. He's going to be drawn to this gate. So now I'm going to turn him back to the gate. He didn't want to go back there because we've worked here a bit before, and he's sort of getting the understanding of what happens in the gates when he gets drawn there. So now I give him a chance to leave. Where does he want to go? He wants to go straight back to this fence, straight back to this other corner. That's all right. We can run here, and then we'll do some circles here. I'll put him under some pressure again. Give him a chance to leave. Straight back to this fence. That's all right. We're trotting here. So this trotting now won't stop until he leaves this fence. Drawn straight back to the fence. We'll keep trotting. Now he's wanting to stop his feet. He's not going to get a rest while he's trying to stop his feet, while he's looking to stop his feet. I don't care where he goes. He's going to run around now looking for where the pressure comes off. But as long as he's trying to find a place to stop, he's not going to find one. I'm just going to let him cruise now and just keep looking for a place to stop. I want him to make those mistakes. I want him to get comfortable and relaxed no matter where he is, and maintain a consistent gait. Just travel for me. He's wanting to stop his feet here again. He's slowing right down. Well, he thinks it's going to come here any second. So I'm going to make him canter here. I'm going to make him lope. So I'm going to make it harder and harder and harder for him to be where he's trying to be. And now he's come off that fence by himself. Wait and see where he goes. If he kept continuing that way, I would have given him a quit. He's come straight back here again. So we canter again. He wanted to stop there, but I won't let him. And woo, and woo, and woo. He's wanting to get a bit silly about being told what to do. So I give him a chance to have a rest there. And he wanted to run off a little bit. And when I picked up that one rein, for a one rein stop, he wanted to play around a little bit in that and resist that. So we'll just play around with the lateral flexion there. Alright. I'll squeeze him on. He wants to go straight into the corner there. So I'm going to make this an uncomfortable spot to be, because he wanted to point his nose straight into this corner. Give him a chance to leave now. And he wants to come straight back to this corner. Make it hard to be here. It's not a fun place to be, buddy. Give him a chance to leave. The idea of this destination addiction training is just wherever he shows me he wants to be, where he's looking for a place to find comfort and rest. It just tells me that he's not focused on me, not focused on what we're doing. It tells me that he's more concerned with finding a place to rest. So where he tells me he's drawn to be, where he wants to find that stop, I'm going to make him work harder there. So now we're just going to cruise. Now he's come back to this fence. We're going to canter. Put him under more pressure, make him work harder. Ooh, ooh. Now he can trot. He wanted to leave there, so that's good. But he's trying to stop his feet. I haven't asked for him to stop his feet yet. He wants to go back to this fence. We're going to canter here. And move, and move. Good. So we'll give him a rest here in the middle of the arena. So I want him to get the idea that none of these corners, none of these fences, none of these gates are a happy place to be. I want him to be looking here. I want him to be focused on trying to get to the middle. And the rest comes here. And I'll work on that a little bit more in the cloverleaf exercise, where the stops come in the center of the cloverleaf, and that just moves that focus from the gates and the corners and the fences, and makes them want to hunt the center. send him off the walk here. And we'll go to working on some vertical flexion at the trot. Put him on a square. Nice. Pick up on 2 reins, give him a little squeeze. He's pushing on my left leg there, get him off that, get him off that. He's wanting to lean on that a little bit. Nice, much better. Very nice. I'm just picking up every now and then. I'll pick up on 2 reins. I'm trying to leave as much slack as I can there. Let him find that. Let him find that spot where the pressure comes off. As long as he's willing to be soft for me, I'll leave him alone. And when he starts raising his head up, I'll pick up. And we get soft together. And we get soft together. When he starts picking that head up, I'll take up a soft feel. When he gives to me, I'll give back to him. There, give back, pick up, give back, pick up. Bring him into the bend here. Get him off that right leg. There, good. Nice, very nice. And we'll work on the left rein a little. I won't do a huge amount of this because it is really hard work for him. I really like how he's working here. Pick up there, release. He's wanting to dive his shoulder in there. I'm going to use that left leg, push his shoulder out a little. You just want to over anticipate the corner. Pushing on my left leg, get off that, get off that, get off that. Yeah, good. Pick up when he picks his head up. Just a nice soft feel. I'm not pulling on him. I'm just holding those reins in my tippiest of fingertips. Now he's wanting to get a bit more insistent. I found a bit of resistance there and just gave him a little bit of a bump, good. Little bump, good. He's diving his shoulder in there again. Put that left leg on. Ask him to do that corner again. There, that's perfect. Ooh. Good. And we'll back him up there at that. Nice. Very nice. That's really good. I might just work on a little bit of cloverleaf at the canter. So we've done a little bit of that. We won't do a huge amount of it. It's pretty warm. I don't want to get him too hot and bothered. We'll do a little bit of that, and then we'll do some lateral work, get him coming off our legs, and we'll call it a day with him after that, I think. Let's send him off here. I am starting to ask him to canter from the walk. He's not, picked up a lead departure or anything yet, but we're working towards it. Pushing on my left leg, get off that leg. Good. Pushing on my right leg, get him off that leg. Good. So he's wanting to speed up a little when I put that leg on. So ask him to get off it. That's alright, they're going to do that at this stage. That's pretty common. I'm not bothered by it. He'll start to figure it out that the release comes when he shifts his body away from the pressure. There we go. Nice, much better. Much better. Get off that left leg. He didn't want to get off that leg there. I'll run him into that fence. He wanted to push against it, push against it, push against it. I'll keep him from pushing left and just run him straight. And then we'll go back to work. He disunited there for a second and got a little bit confused with himself. Nice. Much better. Again, I'm just waiting for him to want to pick a direction before I change leads. And if he doesn't, I'm not going to be overly, I'm not going to be upset with that. That's a good thing that he's waiting for me. But if he wants to decide to go to the right, then I'll just pick up. I'll pick up, or if he wants to decide to go to the left, then I'll pick up a right lead and change reins. And I don't care if he changes leads or not. If he stays on the wrong lead, he stays on the wrong lead. That's on him. It's uncomfortable for him to run on the wrong lead. Alright, so I'm going to bring him around here and we'll get a stop in the middle. No, we won't, because he wanted to pull me to the right. Didn't want to make that nice straight line for me. So we'll keep him running. Ooh, much better. Now back him up there. Good. And so that little issue we had there, where he's wanting to push on my left leg and he didn't want to come off that leg, and I'll run him straight into the fence. That's the sort of stuff we were having there yesterday, the sort of dramas we were having, where he was really insistent on wanting to push on one leg or another. And so we were working through that a bit yesterday, and you'd see he's done it there the one time. Sort of pushed on it once there, but come off it, and then sort of tried a bit harder with it, and we run him into the fence and he didn't do it again after that. So he may be picking up that lesson pretty quick, which is good. We'll send him off here. And we'll have the intention of going on the right lead. And he's picked up the incorrect lead, but that's alright. I'm still going to take him around on the right rein. So he needs to figure his leads out. I'm not going to give him any help to do that, really. We're not at the stage of cueing leads. So I don't care what lead he's on, as long as he stays at the canter. And as long as he's not pulling me one way or the other. He's wanting to pick up on me there and pull on me, stick his nose in the air. So I'm going to bump on him there, because that's showing me a real disrespect. Because I wasn't pulling on him at all there. And we'll go back to work. Now he's wanting to pull on me, so I'm going to bump on him. He's insisting on picking up that incorrect lead. That's alright, I'll make him work a small circle and get soft for me. He's wanting to stick his nose in the air again. So we're just going to work a small circle here. I'm going to make him get soft for me. He wants to insist on picking up this incorrect lead. He's wanting to go left. He's wanting to stop his feet. He's wanting to stick his nose in the air. I'm going to start bumping on him. I'm going to start making this real hard for him. If he wants to insist on being silly and looking for all the wrong things to do. That's much better. That's nice and soft, that is. I like that quite a lot. So he just needs to get to understand that his focus needs to stay on me, on what I'm asking him to do. He needs to pay attention. He needs to respond to my cues as I give him. And now he's not looking to stop. Ooh, I'm going to give him a stop there, back him up. Nice, good. So he was cruising really nicely there, and he was real soft in those corners for a few in a row. So that's where the rest comes, and that's what he needs to learn. As the rest comes when he's not looking for it. If he starts looking for it and trying to force it and make his own decisions, then life gets pretty tough for him. That's where I like using these bitless and rope head collar and bossel sort of setups for this stage of my training, because if I need to, they start fighting and being a bit silly, I can give them a good bump, and you know, it's not going to do them any damage, it's not going to hurt them, and then we can, once they get really good and consistent, then we can put a bit in their mouth, and I know they're going to be good and consistent, and they're just going to get soft, or softer again than they already are in the gear we're using. So this is why I like doing it this way, and a lot of people tell me, you know, like you need to get a bit in them sooner. But my experience, I disagree. I think this is a much better way of doing things. Because we can always put a bit in their mouth and get them softer later on. But if we do it too soon and then we end up in battles with them, then you create problems in the mouth that then you need to go and fix, because you've created a brace in the mouth, a stiffness and hardness in the mouth, where they'll expect that they're going to get a jab in the mouth with a bit of steel, and you know it's not good for them mentally, I don't think. I'd much rather do it this way. Right, so we'll go and work on some lateral stuff now. Squeezing forwards. We'll come over to the fence here. Now I'll turn him to walk down the fence. Now I'll turn him into the fence. Put that left leg on. Catch his hip up. Good. Good. Needing to block his nose. No, needing to block his nose there quite a bit. He's wanting to really lead with his shoulder there. And he doesn't want to walk forwards. Have to give him a real good squeeze and a reminder. Right rein. Turn him into the fence. Catch his hip up. Good. Good. That's better there. I'll back him off the fence. Good. We'll just go straight from here instead of walking him along that fence. We'll just add that leg. He's wanting to lag his hip behind, lead with his shoulder. I'm going to use that spur, catch his hip up. He just needed a little bit of help there. That's better. So when I first asked him there, he really drove forwards or to the right with his shoulder. So I want to discourage that with that left foot and use that spur right back at the back of his rib cage there, and just let him know he needs to catch that hip up. And leading with the shoulder is a lazy way of doing it. Good, much better. And before I ask him to side pass, I'll pick up on 2 reins. Just let him know I'm going to ask him to move. Good. Now I'll go back to the left, pick up on 2 reins, add the right leg, catch that hip up. Good. Catch that hip up. I'm going to bump on his face there as well. He was getting really insistent about leading with that shoulder. So I'm going to slow his front end down with that right rein. So I don't want to overuse that spur to make him catch his hip up. So when he's getting real insistent about driving that shoulder out, then I'll bump on him with the inside rein. A little bit of face, catch that hip up. He's wanting to stop his feet there. Give him a little hurry up. There, good. Good. Alrighty. I'll turn him away from the fence, use that left leg. Step his shoulder over, he wants to move his hip. There, he moves his shoulder and we're back at the fence, that's alright. So I'm going to get him to draw back away from the fence now. And now I'm going to add that left leg and ask him to move his shoulder while his weight's coming back. There, good. He's a little half a step in the right direction. So pick up again. Add that left leg. A little bit of right rein. Good. Much better. So I'm going to work on, now we've done a little bit of work on coming off the legs laterally with that side passing on the fence. I'm going to work a little bit on two tracking. He's wanting to get squirrely, get off that leg, pushing on that left leg there. He's wanting to get squirrely and go left and right. So I've got both my calves on. So instead of just going forwards, he's getting a little bit confused and he's wanting to go left and right. So he's pushing on my left leg there. Give him a little squeeze, straighten him up. So I'm going to come down this fence line here. And I'm going to add some right leg. I want him to come off that leg. Good. I want him to keep travelling forwards as we do it. Add right leg. Good. And we'll back him up. Right leg. Turn him around. Good. And we'll work on the left leg now. I'll just add that left leg, open the right gate. Good. Add the left leg, open the right gate. Oh, nice. Good. And woo. Back up. Left leg. Right rein. Good. Left leg, right rein. Good. Left rein, right leg. Hold on to that. Good. Good. So he wanted to push forwards into it at first, and then he relaxed into it and dropped his head in the bridle there and really stepped around nice for me. So bring him back to the right a little. Good. And we'll walk him off. Add the right leg. Good. And a bit more right leg. Good, that's better. So he's getting a little bit sort of dull there. Not really wanting to do it. That's alright, he's going to go through little patches of that. We're only just first starting to work on this now. Much more important that he does it correct than does it fast. Good. And we'll walk him forwards. Press with that left leg. A little bit of spur. He was a bit slow to respond. Again, I'll press with that left leg. Open the right gate. Much nicer. We'll press with that left leg. Open the right gate. Nice. Good kid. And whoop. And back. And back. He wanted to stop his feet before I've asked. He's looking for different ways off it. That's better there. Good. I'm going to do that a couple more times. Good. Just because he got a little bit resistant to it there. Good. Now I want to connect his face to his feet now. I don't just want him, so this doesn't just mean drop into the bridle, it means back up. So as soon as I pick up on 2 reins, I want him thinking going backwards. And that's what's really gonna get him nailing that stop. I think we'll call that quits there, kid. You've done good.